Hello and welcome back. Okay, so lots of cool things. First and foremost, starting from the here, which is maybe kind of cheating because it's built up, but maybe it's built up because of geological reasons, where it's kind of like a yin-yang relationship, maybe, to this, which has the finger there and this going around and basically being an ammonite thing. So it has this stretch going across here that if we follow it, we see it all the way to here. So I kind of kept looking and I'm like, well, the Appalachians kind of end here. Over here, like if there's some kind of flow going this way, it looks like it somewhat went this way, somewhat went this way, but also went this way out here. And then I was thinking maybe went this way, like an arc that continued to arc and contributed to these. So that led me to thinking that, among other things. That wasn't the first thing that got me thinking, but it was one of the things. So there's this. I was looking at this image from this paper or this website. Okay, but this image, it has Chesapeake Bay impact, Tom's Canyon impact, which are simultaneous-ish, dated to the same time frame, and then 51 million earlier, another impact, Montagna, which are in a line relatively along the coast. Starting from here and going to here. Not in line with this. I was looking to see if one was like here. Although interestingly, like if there were to be one space like here, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4. In line with that, almost like there's a relationship. And maybe even like this arc is related to a current that was going across there. Current going across there. I think it would have been here. I think so. With Florida, this section down here. And then the straight section here, I guess. Here. It looks shorter. This looks way shorter than like here to here. But then this thing here, the reason I'm looking at it is because there's this right here. They just kind of moved apart, I guess. And then started to turn more so apart in the southern portion than the northern portion. Especially in this time frame, like rapid phase of Earth expansion was a first they moved apart and then they bent. This is really northern. Really northern. Let's see what this Earth expansion one shows. Going back, just opening a bit. It quickly opens this, although I don't agree with that, but that's is what it is. It's probably generally doing this. And maybe it is doing it. It's quite possible this is extremely back calculated based on the data to a point where this is like what the data shows, I guess. Late Cretaceous. So really, the Earth didn't even... Most of the expansion happened after 65 million years. As we can see here. Present, 65 million. And then Jurassic. Substantial growth, though, from there to there. Just not even comparable to the final result. Okay, anyway. Let's keep going. So there's that path. And I was kind of looking, like, well, like, I keep thinking about, I haven't really talked about it much, that Atlantis, I believe Atlantis to be here. But I was thinking about maybe this is an opportunity to consider Azores Plateau and what kind of like interactions might have happened with this process. I mean, for sure, Flemish Cap is like experiencing currents coming out this way. Anything coming out of Hudson Bay and out this way that makes it down here, down through here, especially when Greenland was there, is probably like funneling through right at it to a point where it moved it from here to here. I think it was here, like geologically. I might be mistaken on that. I really am not sure. And it like moved, but I don't know why it would. I guess that might have formed after it moved. That little bar. Otherwise, it would have kind of gone like around it. Like rolled along it. Well, that doesn't make sense. Once it was exposed, it would have been like destroyed. If it's moving this entire block, a current coming this way, and the block is behind it, it must have formed in some balance. This closure, because this existed. Okay, anyway. So I was thinking, though, current's going this way. So there's this idea now that there's a current coming out this way, interacting with, presumably interacting with another current, like a cross current, that then is creating eddies. That's kind of what I'm thinking as we're gonna go over some things that I'm contemplating here. So there's a current coming out this way, but then it goes down here. And I'm thinking about it, if there's a current going this way and then bending, like it generally would want to go this way, but it bends, and maybe because of this, but also like maybe because of a current coming out this way that is like hitting resistance along here basically and running down the coastline as the continents separate. So like through a channel that then goes across this way and down through into here. And also between, like, starts to carve like this. And then open and just create channels. Like the water playing an integral role maybe in pushing the continents apart. But also as it flows at cross currents of this current coming out and currents coming down this way, then they interact, maybe. Like it doesn't happen up here, it happens over here. Okay, and then over here we have this current going down here. So like if there's current coming down here running into this current, then there's this location where these things are happening. Like if we follow this one more generally out, it goes to here. So that, with that in mind, I was looking over here like, well, like what's going on? Like where's this going? And with relationship to the Azores Plateau, I was thinking about, well, if it's closer, like more like this, like in one of these time frames, then what's going on? And so I looked up the geology of Canary Islands and Cape Verde to get an idea when they formed, age. So Canary Islands is in the 20 to 1 million, so it's pretty recent. It's after rapid expansion of the Earth happened, basically. And then Cape Verde is, I believe, 70, according to Wikipedia, which I'm not gonna... Maybe it doesn't say it here. Somewhere I found it saying archipelago 180 million. Let's make sure it doesn't say some eon. Low velocity anomalies in the lower mantle, which appear to pond beneath the transition zone with branches extending to the Azores, Canary, and Cape Verde hotspots. Hotspots. It's just generally where the Canary Islands are. 70 million. So 70 million, which is basically as the rapid phase of the Earth expansion is happening. 60 million archipelago formed. So this one is important. Canary, Cape Verde, hotspot. I guess it's just up the Madeira. Okay, we got a paper. Like, am I hearing sounds? Crazy. Okay. There we go. To reflect a typical mid-ridge hotspot interaction because of an anomalously elevated spreading ridge. The presence of a large region of elevated seafloor associated with a thick crust between the Great Meteor Seamounts, which is this last one here, and the Azores Plateau, or platform, indicates that these hotspot-derived structures are genetically linked. We thus view them as part of the same magmatic system dating back to 85 million years. And then 60 increased magmatism, 65 million from the Cruiser Group. I guess that one. Is that might just be all meteor, Great Meteor, and then this is the Cruiser Group. It's almost like there's a undercurrent flowing here that like holds this terrain together better. Like this thing. But like a current that continued outward. I don't know why I would go this way, maybe from the center of it all, it like erupted in a way where it needed an escape route and it started over here and like pushed upward, pushed up, and then energy went out this way. I don't know if I'm just like wishful thinking that it would be that easy to explain. But I'm just thinking like this has a relationship to what we're looking at. This like from here this way across to here and then maybe just going down there. Let's see, like it looks like it goes right there pretty much. Maybe it starts to go down here. This is crazy. The energy got in here. An eddy like this, but then the current was going across here. So it got like rounded. But then a current scooped around this way. It ran into resistance, went around this way, dug into this thing, swirled into here, and then like swirled here, filled the pressure so that this other current could flow across it without like exhausting this way as much as it would have been initially. Venting sideways probably too. Probably a current that like, I don't know, came in here. I don't know exactly. There's definitely that going on there, where there's an eddy there, and it seems related to this. So I'm gonna say, and then there's also like a subtle circle here. I'm gonna say this is related to that, like pretty confidently. Which then means, though, like if we follow it, it goes to like here, which then goes over to here, which then goes over to here. But like also here. Like a relationship to this maybe, and to at least like some segment up here where some other currents are involved, like this current coming out and across is more involved maybe with the Azores themselves. Like if there's a current coming down this way, another current going this way, and they go around some kind of bend point, like let's say this one's coming this way, it bends, this one bends this way, so it doesn't really matter with this. But then this also like goes this way, where there's another current that's flowing in this way, applying a pressure, so this is like squeezed in a similar way to how these mounds are being compressed by currents. So was this mound compressed, and it built like a more substantial unit at that location where the current was bending, but also going around it this way, I guess. Maybe like up this way into here. So like there's a current coming in here. These islands, like in the past we've talked about how this flows out to the Canary Islands. Canary? I literally never remember. Cape Verde. This is Cape Verde. To Cape Verde. This is Canary Islands. Yeah. Okay, it flows out to Cape Verde though, so like we see a general width, we see a similar width over here, and then over here we see, just like this, we see like an outlet channel up here, where it goes out this way, and then here it just like bends, and bends, and is suddenly very much like this way. Like it's running into resistance. So much so that it bends and compresses like this channel where it goes out and goes this way, I guess, and like forces a channel there. So like if there's a current coming this way but another counter current, it created a boundary there and flowed that way. And then maybe up here and up into here. Possibly up here. I was also thinking like at this point kind of bending also and following this path. Notably, like if we follow this corner up to where it meets here, this straight line, to basically the end of this line, it kind of is like a hexagon. And then down this way. So if there's a current that goes out this way and then kind of bends this way, and then I was thinking reaches the like actual patterns in the ocean floor here and starts to preferentially flow along them. So it goes this way, and then to a degree this way, and then runs into resistance of what's going on over here, just creating a wall, a boundary between the two. And then between them, this hexagon. But then if it goes this way, it goes up, over, and around, and down. Like it seemingly runs into this current going across. So it either joins it or it wraps around to a point where it comes into this corner again and holds this boundary and interacts with the current coming out this way, creating this. And just swirls in to a point where it builds some mounds over here and it's like one of those three-pointed things. Like over here, goes like this way, and then this way, and this way, in a triangle. It's a triangle, but it's got specifically the spines to the center. Makes me think of UFOs. So then, let's say this current comes out and it also seemingly bends. Like, even though it probably goes across this way and holds a boundary, it's also getting, like, bent this way, overwhelmed. And so I'm thinking it just bends this way, interacts with this current, which is also interacting maybe with this. Like, I don't know if these lines, I've seen them in maps that make it look more real than it looks at first glance. I mean, it looks like it goes down and ultimately though it goes this way. So like there's stuff going on over here holding pressure and holding a boundary. And so stuff going this way is also deflected back this way. But then there's all this pressure coming this way, which then it runs into and like holds the boundary here. It's kind of what I'm thinking. Well, this arc just kind of explodes out through as far as it can, but over here it really, like, seemingly it could have gone further, but because there's a pressure over here pushing against it, it just didn't. It's like moving in water versus moving in air. Basically, it was they're moving in water to a degree, at least, where there's a pressure against their motion that would not be there if it was just like a chunk of land moving in the air. And so it creates this like wall here with the layers that are flowing, the material that's getting like ejected in the explosiveness of what's going on in this region. And the currents, I guess, just in the overwhelming currents moving things, essentially. But so then this current is forced to wrap around, and then we've got Bermuda at the center, which is interesting. Wraps around, so it's probably coming up this way. Running into this current. Also, just adding to the interaction, hitting resistance where it's bending back also, like back here. Not sure why that would be there. It's really got like it almost looks like a face of a Native American with like a head thing on. Whatever it's called. Native American chief head. I was gonna say headdress, but I mean maybe not as like as substantial as those. I guess that's how they are. Let's see if it matches. Maybe not. I don't know what to make of this tab. I guess currents were flowing this way enough that currents going around like ran into it and went somewhat like this way. I don't know. That's so interesting. It kind of looks like a chakra, the way it comes out and then gets like sharper to a point. That's totally like a chakra. Whoa. Like, is this an arm holding something? Body. Birdman with like bird knee that's bent. I don't know. But so, if current's going around this way and around, it also maybe went down this way and like was able to go across. It must be running into relatively head-on current to be doing this. And then the bottom boundary where the currents are colliding. So it's got to be generally coming from over here, is my thought. Or this one. But this one seems to be fueling magma, where this one's fueling water. Maybe. Just also magma, perhaps, but just based on this lack of being gouged by water. It's almost like the swirl here, the eddy, kind of like what's going on over here with Hawaii, where the ammonite was radioactively decaying and releasing little decay products of spheres that included the Hawaiian sphere that got lodged here in the currents that swirled and then just created all these really cool things. But like, that's one ammonite, this is another ammonite, and it's got this like center that's really right here, and that from it is coming out all these spheres, relatively, like systems. Possibly related to Hudson Bay also. Just based on the angle there. Whoa. So it goes down and around, but it also goes this way then. Maybe it goes to the top here even. As it's trying to cut a path between, it goes to the top there. And then it like punches holes in the coastline. But not visible over here, really. Like, that's so strange. And they really start at the, like, mouth of the snakehead here. And below. Like, there's a current going across that then comes out of the mouth here. Looks Looks like maybe goes that way. So it runs into resistance from here. So there's a water going across here. Probably coming down this way. Or down here. That's kind of a snake with a tongue that has water in it, so that would make sense that water flowed there. Also here, maybe out of here. The water's flowing across this way, but water's flowing across here, so it's kind of creating resistance, leading to some of this like going down this way, and then going across this way, I guess. Which then came across into this region, causing this to bend that way. And then maybe forced to go this way. Or maybe it went like across and up, where another current went across here and then this way. I feel like this seems like one. It's pretty janky looking, but this must be a current coming down this way, that's going this way in here, but also around here, that just is like boom, because some other current is bending it. Why would it do that at the base of this? I mean, I'm just guessing that this is a water flow induced snakehead. I went a little beyond. I was only looking here, really. And I'm like, I'll do the whole ocean. And then these are formed by, let's say, this here does look very closely related to where this stuff is happening. Like, this has material here, but then down where that's like stops around here, somewhere around there. I mean, it's not exactly, where is this? This is pretty much around here. And mirroring it. I haven't really thought about those. I mean, I think this suggests there's a current going along this way, and like, here's the head, a current going along this whole length into here and past, just like, I don't know why it would only go in there. I guess it's also going in here. That's kind of this boundary here. Yeah, I think there's water that goes across basically to here. So some current crosses it, goes over here, goes down also around here, running into resistance. Show. Mamma mia. Was there anything else I'm forgetting? Maybe to have some emotion and excitement. That's just, I don't want to be selling this. I don't want to be like, please. Behaving in ways that are like deemed socially maybe necessary. Maybe in some ways, yeah, I should, but in others, definitely not. There's an impact here. Impact. Looks kind of like a head. I noticed, I don't know if it has any relationship, but it does seem to continue in here where it's like pointing. So it's a little odd that this structure that points that way just happens to have a circle like pretty much at its center, for it to not be related. I mean, I see why. Well, what's the problem with that? But given everything else. But it continues this way, like really sharply too. This. And then having this point here with this makes me feel like there's currents at play. Oh yeah, Finger Lakes. If there's something going this way, holding this boundary, and then the current gets like past it and is able to gouge in. I just had a thought that maybe something to do with temperature makes it not like in some instances some materials are like recycled and their new dates are as if like a new thing is there, and in other instances it's like too cold so it doesn't actually transform it as easily. I don't know, just a thought. Interesting. Oh, wait a minute. Wait un minute. Goes here, so we can definitely see it on the magnetic anomaly map going through here. I think there. And then generally here. Notably with a bunch of little circles suggestive of just like a turbulence and eddies creating those mounds that are seamounts. Or, but I was looking, maybe this continues across and then goes this way, like hits this current, deflects this way. So this probably is going this way. I think in the past I've interpreted it going possibly this way. It's really hard to say sometimes. But it looks like there's a current then going across here, potentially, that bends there generally this way. Do bend, where's that? 79, 46, 46, 79. About thereabouts. Wrong one. Oh, that wasn't close enough. So I'm looking for where this general path across here hits this one. I'm thinking there. $49.19 and then, or 79.19, 45.66. Okay, pretty close still. Okay. So that would not match with this. Where's this? Let's find right here, maybe. 42.57. 43. 43.81. Sorry if this is boring. I'm gonna do this. Down here. Going across this way. There's really nothing visible there. Maybe a little bit, but not especially like that way. And maybe there, but not especially. Basically from the top, this is like a little center thing here. From the top there is pretty much where this is going across, I guess. 78.87. 45.19. 78.87. I think I was 19. That's really, why is that so far up there? I thought I was looking like right here. 42. Yeah, 43.79. That's oh. I was thinking there. Okay, so it's at the base of the circle instead of the top. Base of this, like, starfish thing that has a center. It seems to have a larger structure generally around it, maybe with, like, it's basically where some intersections are happening, a boundary of an intersection, maybe even, that came across and also went down then, maybe, like this way, to this boundary. And went across and then maybe, like, meandered. Ew, that would be like this, going this way, going down here, and then across. So maybe there's a current actually going in, like, there, up here, and through here, around there, across here, where it runs into resistance, I guess, and goes maybe down this way, but also just kind of makes it over this ramp. Just goes across there and joins this current going across this way, which also continues, but maybe, which then causes basically this appearance of this path that then sort of bends and goes that way, going across from here, like across this way, and then bending down that way, or bending somewhere. So this was all the way up there. In this region, maybe this is related to the center then. 44.23, 79.23. Not the worst, maybe. So there's a current going this way, generally here, up into here, running into resistance, cutting across that way. I mean, this one's going this way. So maybe it goes this way, and then this one goes underneath it and goes down this way, and this just kind of bends up a bit into other currents over here. So they have both paths, maybe. And then it goes out there. Maybe. So there's like an inlet and an outlet here. And then seemingly this goes this way then. Whoa. I don't know. Seems related to this, where a current's going across here, below this thing, and then up that way and across there. Okay, that's probably enough. See y'all later. Peace out.